The discussion about his legacy is top-tier chow for the bottom feeders, like those videos of whales that sink to the ocean floor. It puts the ball on the tee for the dumbest takes from the dumbest people. It feels poisoned. His accomplishments are astronomical. What he's done, what he does, and what he can do as a basketball player put him in select company. The biggest contention seems to be, as it has been for nearly a decade, the narrative. That's not to say that there aren't substantial missteps and shortcomings worthy of criticism. There are, and we'll get to them. But Kevin Durant's achievements exist within a truly bizarre career arc, a story that has yet to reach a consensus satisfaction. From small-town hero and aspiring rival to the king of basketball, to a turncoat and deck stacker, to a wanderer, floating from toxic environment to toxic environment. And now we happen upon what will likely be the final chapter in that saga. But that's all for us. For better or for worse, the narrative and the story are things that we as viewers make up. The basketball happens on the floor. One team wins, one team loses. What happens after that and what we make of it is really more about us and what we think and what we want. No athlete in my lifetime has ever made me question more what fair expectations of an athlete are, or spend more time reflecting on the nature of the relationships between athletes, fans, and media. The age-old question rears its head once again. What do we want? There's no easy answer. Do we want winning? Yeah, kind of, but not too much. Too much winning and you're hurting the sport. And you can't go stack the deck to make sure you win either. That's unfair. Do we want loyalty? Sort of. We say we do, but if you are loyal...
Oh, so this nigga just giving a rundown of what we want on the team. Is we gonna talk about KD?
And you don't win.
Do I gotta speed this up, chat?
You'll never stop hearing
don't
about
like
it
his
for
voice.
the rest of your life. So be loyal and win. But you have to stay loyal and win in a way that's emphatic. You can't leave the door open for people to question how much you had to do with the winning, or to give too much credit to the people around you. Too much of a good situation will be held against you too. Also, say the right things. Act a certain way. Be humble, but also confident. Be a team player, but also be assertive. Be a part of the group, but also be an alpha dog. Use your talents, but only in ways that we think are entertaining. On and on and on the list goes. The goalposts are ever changing. Is there even such a thing as a fair question that the audience could want an answer to? Yes, and we'll get to that, but it doesn't take long to realize that the audience doesn't really know what the hell they want. Nothing's ever really good enough. You can't please everyone, right? So could you blame an athlete for just not giving a fuck? No. You can't. And that's what Durant seems to do. Just not give a fuck. He seems to have opted out, either by conscious decision or simply by effect, of the traditional ways we evaluate greatness. I have those words in quotations because it feels kind of cringy to hold Durant to the standard of other all-time greats. Using the time-honored cliches to talk about him is a lost cause. Maybe it's because of the pure stupidity of most of the things that people say about him, but talking about his greatness either makes you sound like a butthurt whiner or a jock-riding glazer. Like no matter what you do, you enter a spectrum on which there are only two extremes. Like you care way more about it than he does. He's doing him. Who cares what the haters say, right? Well, Kevin Durant does. He cares what people think about him, which, by the way, is an incredibly human thing to care about. I would never go so far as to say that anything some dork on the internet has to say about Kevin Durant could ever ruin his day, but it's clear that he doesn't like it and is more than willing to respond. If there were ever a sports Twitter Hall of Fame, it should be named after Kevin Durant. No athlete of his stature more regularly engages with fans on social media, nor so consistently puts said fans
KD
in
be
body
tweaking with
bags.
niggas on Twitter,
He is
I
the
ain't gonna
nexus of this painfully contemporary intersection of fame in the internet age, pressure and expectation, online cynicism, and public engagement. I enjoy seeing his greatest hits as much as anyone. He is a gifted shit talker. I can't keep up with the day-to-day though. It's just too much. At a certain point, I can't help but...
Hey, going through KD Twitter, bruh. It's like Russian roulette.
Think that he doesn't need to defend himself this much. A notion that KD is quick to respond to. And why shouldn't he be able to defend himself? Why can't he have a voice in the same arenas that the rest of these losers, myself included, talk shit in? Especially when he pretty regularly banishes the losers to the fucking shadow realm. That's all well and good. More power to him for it. But it does feed itself. It's no doubt why all this legacy talk is so ugly. His mentions must be an absolute cesspool. There's a chance that one of the most famous athletes in the world—
Man, they better stop playing with KD. Bro, chat.
We'll see what you say, and if it's stupid or mean enough, there's a chance he might respond in kind with nearly the same level of internet nastiness. It's textbook trolling. There isn't really anything substantive to be gleaned in perusing KD's
Look at them
post-book
SIGs,
trolling.
That's 2016 SIGs right there, chat.
With nearly the same level of
2K16
internet nastiness.
SIGs.
It's textbook trolling. There isn't really anything substantive to be gleaned in perusing KD's posts and replies, aside from the common idea that he just wants to hoop. Durant presents as a kind of purist. The goal of playing basketball
had the
isn't to
same
please the
SIGs for the
masses
last
or
10
fulfill
years.
some kind of expectation put upon him. It's to play basketball. You get the sense in the things he says and the kinds of things he chooses to respond to that he just wishes people would let him play ball. Forget what you think about a legacy. You and Kevin Durant do not care about the same things. Much of the language and fanfare that we reserve for players of his caliber, the mythos and the legend building, when applied to Durant, feel as though they are a language trying to describe color. It doesn't really work. You get the feeling that he wants his performance and abilities separated from the team's record or circumstance, from storylines or narratives. He has a good reason for wanting to be evaluated as a basketball player. The capacities born from maybe the most versatile offensive player in basketball history are still, today, far from a memory. He has put together a career of achievement that stacks up against almost any player who has ever played his position. Next season will be his 18th in the NBA, and we'll see him turn 37 years old. And his numbers and metrics are still eye-popping. 6 years after he ruptured his Achilles,
Tattooed on him. Kobe.
metrics are still eye-popping. 6 years after he ruptured his Achilles, he's still a 50,
y'all ain't
40,
saying no
90
hundreds.
guy. His
I'm
desire to
redeeming
win
myself.
cannot be called into question
Holy
either.
stutter.
He is a competitor, clearly not content to just cash checks and go home. It's what has led to this stage of his career as a nomad, and really was the catalyst for all this shit 10 years ago. He wanted to win more than he wanted to be popular.
Number 35, Kevin Durant.
Which brings us back to what we want. And I think the fairest question that the basketball watching world wants answered in regard to Kevin Durant, stripping away all conventions of loyalty or traditional career arcs or romantic ideal, is the same question that gets asked of any player as transcendently talented as he is. Can a basketball team centered around his talents win a championship? Obviously, we know that he can be the best player on a championship team. He did it twice. For my money, he was the best player on the best basketball team ever. But can he do it in a situation that isn't literally joining the best team ever? It's been the same question ever since he left Golden State, and since then, the answer has been no. It would be one thing if the past 6 years were full of small victories.
Okay, this is a great comparison because you could say the same thing about Ant, even though he just got in the league. You could say the same thing about Ant. They doing all these like Michael Jordan comparisons and all this. Said, bro, ain't won a ring yet. They got knocked out in the semis. So it's just shit like that, chat. Like if y'all gonna hold KD to these standards, hold everybody else.
Deep playoff runs that just didn't quite make it, regular ass kickings, fond memories, the normal indicators that something good was happening. Instead, it has been one unmitigated disaster after the other. Words like nightmare, disaster, and train wreck have been used to describe these teams. His time as the face of the Brooklyn Nets, fresh off his Warriors championship runs and that Achilles injury, is still the most dysfunctional, underwhelming super team of my life. And the Phoenix Suns just fielded the most expensive roster in basketball history so they could win 36 games. It would be its own video to litigate every bit of dysfunction of the past few years, because it's got everything. Coach killing, internal feuding, conspiracy theories, public scorn, backtracking, and estrangement, all permeated with a level of passive aggression that even LeBron would have to admire. And the through line for it all, in Brooklyn and in Phoenix, is Kevin Durant. We've already established that he has played fantastic basketball since his return from injury. When available, his on-the-court production is practically unimpeachable. It's all the shit off the court that's in question. In the era of player empowerment, he has evolved into, as much as anything else, a cautionary tale of a player with too much helm and too broken a compass. He has not gotten along with a coach since Scotty Brooks. A list of coaches, by the way, that includes Steve Kerr, Kenny Atkinson, Frank Vogel, Mike Budenholzer, and Steve Nash, the last of whom he handpicked. He has lobbied for players like Kyrie Irving.
Man, bro. This could have been.
Can I see you as my crush?
Why you had to get injured, Kyrie, bro? Like, fuck. And then, like, you before you got injured, you set out because you was doing the whole spiritual shit, which is cool, by the way. Nothing against y'all, but like, damn, bro, y'all could have run a ring, fo. Like, this could have been the ring right here.
Irving, James Harden, and Bradley Beal to be his running mates, to exactly the kind of results you would expect. Upon his exit, both franchises found themselves in decidedly worse positions than they were in before he got there. It is not a stretch to think that both franchises would have been better off had they never brought him on board. I get the emphasis and the insistence on the on-the-court production, because a lot of the things that caught these teams up were situations that he either had little direct ability to correct, or were...
Now, the Rockets gonna be tough, though. We gonna have to see, though. I can't say that now, because everybody gonna be tough.
Things that had little to do with basketball.
Situations a lot of new talent
that he had a hand in creating. We live in an age where players have more agency over their circumstance than ever before, should they choose to exercise it. And Durant has as much as anybody has. I'm sorry, that counts. I'm not gonna hold it against him that he's not Sam Presti as a GM, but the results are what they are. Since leaving the Warriors, Kevin Durant's teams have been swept in first-round series as many times as they've won first.
Holy. Second round exit. First round sweep. Second round exit. First round sweep. Missed the playoffs. Oh my God. Yeah. It don't look too good. I'm not gonna lie. That don't look the prettiest, twin. What the fuck? This probably gonna be the thumbnail right here. What the fuck?
Round series. We can sit here and talk about injuries and about how great that Nets team was offensively for that brief stretch when Kyrie hadn't gone completely insane and Harden was healthy. How KD was great for them, and had he been one shoe size smaller.
But like, you can't, come on, bro. Like, you see what he doing though. Hold on.
Insane and Harden was healthy.
How 4 seconds on the board, down by 2. Mid range. Fake half spin.
He was great
full
for them.
Spin. 3. Fade.
And had he been one shoe size smaller, they
stop playing with him, chat. Stop playing with him, chat. Stop. Look. Here go another view for y'all. If y'all didn't see it.
May well have won the title, but that's all we've got. A what-if playoff run that ended in the second round, while KD has proved.
Stop playing with these niggas, bro. Stop playing with OGs. Stop playing with Kyrie and stop playing with KD. I'm seeing too many videos. I'm seeing too much shit on Twitter. Go to somebody else.
Proven to be a marvel of longevity and talent. Unbelievably, his contemporaries have
like,
too.
Look at niggas.
A marvel of longevity.
They got a triple team this nigga, bro. 1, 2, 3. Unos, dos, tres, nigga. That's 3 niggas.
Unbelievably, his
And they only up by 7 in the first quarter.
His contemporaries
They're triple teaming him in the first quarter, bro.
have too, and experienced
Come
more
on,
team
bro.
success.
That's some 2K shit. That's some 2K shit, bro.
LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Chris Paul have all played in or won a championship since 2019, all while Durant just spins his wheels. One of the greatest players in the history of the game, in unhappy
At least he give
environments
him
of
that.
his own design, with nothing meaningful to show for it.
Damn.
Sorry, but I care about that. I am disappointed by it. That's part of what this all is. I hate to defend sports media or sports fans. Like I've said, we are garbage. But we care, sometimes, and about some things, way, way too much.
That Jay-Z? That Jay-Z?
No idea how good Tim Duncan was. Oh my God.
But that's why
LeVar
there are
Ball?
cameras at the games, why there are reporters who follow every move, why NBA players are the most well-compensated performers.
11 billion. Y'all thinking what I'm thinking? Type shit.
Professional athletes in the world, because a lot of people watch and talk about and are interested in the sport. They care. Kareem always resented it too. Jordan went to go play baseball to get away from it. There are ways out of the fishbowl, but it means stepping away from all of it. Whether it's a fair trade or not, Dennis Rodman was right. The money is not for the basketball. It's for all the other bullshit. It's an implicit part of the deal of being a professional athlete at the highest level and carrying the expectations requisite with all-time talent. Despite everything, the weirdness and the mistakes, the missteps, winning really does solve everything. Alright, maybe not everything, but a whole hell of a lot. A deep playoff run at his age, after everything he's been through, in this circumstance, would help take the heat off of literally one of the most contentious topics in the realm of sports. Houston wasn't built around him, so it isn't quite the same, but when has Kevin Durant ever been comparable? He's stepping into quite literally one of the best situations you could fathom. I know the Rockets' first round exit took some wind out of their sails as an up-and-comer, but they were the 2 seed in the West without a clear number 1 guy. They had Fred VanVleet serving as the role of veteran and go-to guy, and that was enough to make their series with
Ain't
the
gonna lie, that nigga tough.
Warriors competitive. Houston already has the youth. They
Sengun. Amin Thompson is nice too, but I really don't like that nigga.
already have energy and a coach and a fuck you mentality. Durant fills their most desperate need in spades. Down the stretch of tight games, there's a clear and irrefutable plan.
Hey.
Let Kevin Durant hoop. He
Let
will make an
KD
immediate
cook,
impact
bro.
on their offense and should provide no
Let
drop-off
Twin
in their
cook,
defensive
bro.
identity. The Rockets are ready to step into a space of title contenders that has exactly one known quantity in the OKC Thunder. To be clear, this is not some kind of redemption.
Oh, why do y'all keep putting this nigga on my screen? If he pop up again, I promise that's the end of the video.
He's here because the last 3 stops in his journey have ended in breakups that were capital M messy. But it's also not some coup that guarantees anything. There's enough unknowns that it won't be easy. Again though, those are just the narratives we make up and the stories we tell, trying to figure out what we want, right? Can he really do it? These next few years may be the last time the question gets asked of Kevin Durant. If it works out and he returns to the top of the mountain, hell, even if it's just one more honest run at the thing, that's an answer. And if, health permitting, it doesn't work out here, well, that's an answer too. I've been wondering for a long time, what do we want?
Should I still
But I've
be
also
mad
wondered,
at Kevin Durant? What are
naturally,
you mad at
not
Kevin
that
Durant
it matters
for?
to anyone or in any way. What is it that I want? And honestly, I just want an answer. So we can all, maybe, just a little bit, shut the fuck up.
You know what? I got you.